Morning, everybody. Let's call court to order. Today is Tuesday, October the 1st, 2024. It's 9 a.m. Proof of posting, please.
The agenda was posted on Friday, September 27, 2024 at 8:35 a.m. and a supplemental agenda was posted on Friday, September 27, 2024 at 3:35 p.m.
Thank you. Let's stand briefly for a moment of silence and we'll have a pledge to the flags.
Please join me in the pledge. Pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Now the Texas pledge.
Honor the Texas flag.
I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Thanks, Steve. Okay, if any members of the public in the audience today want to speak to the court on business matters, please do so at this time. And Reagan, someone did call in, but they...
Yeah, they're not going to be coming tonight.
All right, thank you. All right, going to under D, under proclamations, would ask the court to ratify two proclamations. One was honoring the volunteers of the Heart of Texas Fair, and it was presented and well received. And also ratification for the proclamation recognizing and honoring Dr. Susan Kincannon, who will be retiring from WISD and have been a great partner with the county and the city. I would make a motion, we approve those two ratifications.
Second.
Motion made and second. Any discussions? No discussions. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Pass. All right, under the consent agenda, recommended pulls are E3B, HR matter for Constable Precinct 5. And then also, Commissioner, you want to pull
E7, please.
E7 on the burn ban. Are there any other recommended pulls from the consent agenda? If not, is there a motion to approve the consent agenda with the exception of those pulls?
Motion to approve.
Second.
That motion is second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Pass. Okay, I'd like to, at this time, I'd like to go to under items M7. This is presentation, acceptance of Texas Association of Counties County Best Practices Award for McLennan County and social and streaming media recruitment program. So Rita's here with TAC.
Thank you. Well, on behalf of the Texas Association of Counties, it's my honor to be here in McLennan County today to recognize one of our 2024 County Best Practices Awards. That's impressive, isn't it?
It is.
Very impressive. Thank you. First of all, I want to thank you for your leadership to the Commissioners Court and also for your participation in the Texas Association of Counties and especially for your support of your tax assessor, Mr. Randy Riggs, and the attention and the time that he gives to TAC in his capacity as Vice President of our board and also as Chairman of our Audit Committee. So we are grateful to have his support. He is with us today, and as a member of the board, I would like to ask him to help me present this award to his home county. Your participation and your commitment to Texas Association of Counties just helps to show other counties that you agree we're stronger together. So at this time, Tax Best Practices Award are identified primarily to help counties address a challenge, come up with a solution that works, and particularly a solution that can be replicated in another county. And you all have done that, so we are recognizing today your social and streaming media recruitment program. All Texas counties face a challenge with recruiting and retaining employees, especially in our jails. And so we saw this program and the strategies that you all use as a way to address that problem and to find some measurable results, identify available resources, and then something, again, that's easy to duplicate in other counties. All of those factors check the boxes and relate directly to the criteria for a county best practices award. And so it is my privilege today to congratulate you all in the Commissioners Court and your HR department. Anna's here today too.
Yes, and when we get into the photo piece, I'd like to have Anna come up and
And so we want to thank you for, not only for developing this particular program, which I think she can probably explain a little better the details from it, but for sharing it, for going to the trouble of putting it down in the application, sharing it with your fellow counties, and giving them the opportunity to follow those same practices. So thank you and congratulations.
well, thank you. So, Anna, if you'll come forward, and I think one of the beneficiaries of this effort has been the jail. And so I'd like to ask Chief Deputy Cody Blossman to come up as well.
And Captain Nixon.
Anna, won't you get right here? Do y'all want to go in, or how do y'all want to do it?
No, y'all go ahead. You're fine.
Yeah, I don't need to be seen like this in a picture.
And I understand
Shady group.
kind of have to tip this like this way. Oh, for the record? Yeah. Seems like it's gonna. One, 2, 3. Do you want me to do one? You don't mind. Oh, here it is, I'm sorry. Thank you. I'll let you all decide that.
Thank you. I do want to just thank a few offices, as this was kind of a team effort here at the county. Being able to leverage current resources we have, like the sheriff's office Facebook page, completely open, willing to be guinea pigs in our little experiment for social media recruitment, just giving full administrative access to their Facebook page for the experiment, and then they also partnered with the auditor's office and purchasing offices because the payment process through Facebook was a little difficult, and so they actually worked really well with us trying to accommodate that process. So thank you to all of our helping and collaborative offices. We really appreciate it. We saw results, and so we'll continue to experiment and if they allow us to experiment
One of
with their
the
offices.
impressive measures was filling 48 positions in 4 months, when all counties are facing a real challenge. All across the board on employee resources, but particularly in our jails and sheriff's office.
Well,
Thank
in
you.
addition to the sheriff's office, they also support every office within this county. So, and on behalf of the tax office, thank you for the support that you give us as well. In your spare time when you're not doing this other stuff. So we appreciate the efforts that you all have.
Well, I think it's important that we are recognized, and especially our folks that really have the talent to bring things forward. We appreciate tax attention that we get from you all, and appreciate the support. And anything we can do for you, let us know.
And Judge, it's my honor to be able to serve the members of TAC on the board of directors as vice president.
Appreciate it.
But when we were able to go and recognize the best of the best, and it's my own home county, it's a sense of pride. So congratulations to you all.
Thank you. All right, thank y'all very much. Is there a motion to accept the award?
So moved.
Second.
Have a motion, second, any discussion? No discussion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passed. Thank y'all. All right, just so we can jump over to one of the items on, that we pulled, E7. Ryan, if you'll come forward. The question was, we pulled the burn ban, and some areas of the county got lots of rain. Commissioner Smith brought up a point this morning that he did have some folks reach out to him a little bit worried that potential fire in certain part of the county still out there. Now, we did put a caveat when we pull the burn ban about being careful and watching for wind and those kind of things, but kind of give us a status, please.
Yes, sir. I do believe we have some pictures that we can bring up. We have getting those. I sent some graphics to kind of show along everybody if.
IT should have them.
Okay.
They just-
I have them here, but I wanted to make sure you guys saw them as well.
The graphic that they came, oh, great. Awesome.
There we go. So we can start with the second slide there. So this is our KBDI, and so normally 9 times out of 10, this is fairly cut and dry, and our office will have a fairly specific recommendation for you. This time it's a little harder. The conditions are somewhat mixed, and I thought it would be a good opportunity to have a conversation about it. So as you can see, our KBDI on certain parts of the county, not really all that concerning. Our office uses the benchmark of 575 to kind of ring the alarm bell of if we have a problem. And so you can see on certain parts of the county, we're well under that, but in other parts, well over. If we can go to the slide 3. This is your forecasted fire danger for the next 3 days. So today gets a little chippy in our area, and the next few, it goes back into a more moderate sort of view. So that says to us that it's not so much of a problem that it is normally. So nothing really to be concerned about there. On slide 4, this is your 7-day splits for temperature. Now we are remaining seasonably warm. That is of concern. The precipitation, there will be essentially none. And continuing into the 90s at this point in October is somewhat rare. And so that would lead you to believe that maybe we do need that burn ban. And finally, slide 1. This is your 8 to 14 day temperature and precipitation outlook. So over the next 2 weeks, the Weather Service calls it more likely than not that we will continue to be above average in temperature while being below average in precipitation. So as you can see, there are indicators both for and against from where I sit, with the caveat that the public doesn't call me about it. I always like to err on the side of caution. We have given people the opportunity to burn here for a couple of weeks, or maybe a week, I guess it was. And so if I had to make a recommendation, I would recommend on the side of safety and reinstating that burn ban, but I'm certainly not married to that decision, and if the court wished to go in a different direction, it wouldn't hurt my feelings.
I'd like to make a suggestion that we get through this next weekend before we put that burn ban on, because most of the county is not at high risk, and the amount of communication I had with people that they needed to have an opportunity to burn because we went so long with the burn ban. But if something were to happen between now and then, I wouldn't hesitate to put it on, but just a few more days. And the weekend is when a lot of that's done,
The more dangerous parts of the county right now are in the more western end. So we can be in close contact with their volunteer fire departments and make sure that they're doing the things that they can do to lessen that impact.
And there has been some grass fires around. There's one in Axtell here
Yes, sir.
today, and you're probably aware of a couple others, but the corn's out of the field. Of course, the wheats have been out. So the high asset values out there, not there right now, which are crops.
It's not catastrophic, but the danger is there.
Yeah. Any other thoughts? I mean,
No, I like that. This will be put out, and it'll be public notice that they've got, well, not a notice, but they'll know they have another week. I think that's fair.
How will it be just another week? Can you issue that burn ban without us meeting?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. 'Cause I've had people, you know, and I was one asked to pull it, or I asked to pull it because I've had some concern, phone calls, and then visited one-on-one with some farmers and ranchers in the area who farm a lot of acreage, and one plot that they're farming, they got rain, and the other one, they've had absolutely no rain. Inch and a half over here, nothing over here. And so it's a concern to some of those people out in Moody area, back, like I said, west and so forth, that there's been a lack of sufficient rainfall for the entire county. I know up to the northern end of their county, they've had a lot of rain, comparatively speaking to us.
Yeah, I got 2 inches of rain on that last
But I
one.
know we're running behind, and we're behind for September rainfall, and it appears that we're going to stay that way through October right now. So the conditions are there,
There.
and it's a concern, so.
Yes, sir, and we certainly understand that. Anytime we make these recommendations, we understand that these burn bans are inconvenient and at best, and actively destructive to people's operations at worst. But at the same time, we have to make the best call we can, but that certainly makes sense.
This is old.
Okay.
Ryan, so I was looking for the counties that have burn bans around us right now. And that KWTX has not updated their website since the 20th.
Have that for you shortly, stand by. The best resource for that is generally through the Forest Service.
Okay.
Pulling that up now.
It's interesting that Bosque, Hamilton, Coriel were not in Bell.
They got a good rain.
Falls has one, Limestone has one, Coriel. Those are our contiguous counties currently in burn ban.
Well, just have to keep an eye on it then.
So you asked about do I have the authority to do it? Only through the court, which the court gave me the authority. I think, Dustin, isn't that correct? That way we don't have to wait.
I agree. If it needs to be done, it needs to be done. And that's a standing,
No, we need to, so Forestry Service says that the county judge and/or the commissioner's court can do it, but there was a recent listserv that Reagan and I are both trying to find that said it had to go through court. I think if the court just gave judge you the authority and a specific motion to enact it, or if we just wanted to specify a date to start it on Monday, October 7th, then y'all could reconsider on that following court session on the 15th.
So if the court agrees, we can take an action to establish a burn ban on Monday, October what's the date? 7th. 7th.
Okay.
That's all right.
that'd be fine.
And then I'd also, Dustin, if it's all right if we got a big general rain, which doesn't look like it's in the forecast, that we could, y'all would give me the authority if emergency management was okay with it. Because that's what I've been going by, the numbers. Only one time that I can remember that I asked for a burn ban when the numbers weren't quite there. But we were getting wind and emergency management says we're, just in a matter of days, we're gonna be there. So we went ahead and put it up because the volunteer fire departments were calling, and that's the ones I'm concerned about because they're the front line. So, anyhow, if that meets everybody's approval.
So in other words, if a motion would be to commence the burn ban on Monday, October the 7th, with the caveat that the county judge be allowed to rescind it upon recommendation from emergency management.
Yeah.
Sounded like a motion to me.
Sounds good to me.
I'll second that.
All right, have a motion second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passed. Thank you, Ryan.
Yes, sir.
And Judge, I'm sorry, while we have, Ryan, we have M5 is discussion and action regarding order authorizing Diwali fireworks sales. I know, Ryan, previously when we asked, you were comfortable with allowing these. This is one where if we want to permit the sale of the fireworks, we have to adopt this order before October 14th. If we don't want to permit them, no action's needed. So Ryan, I didn't know if this changes your thinking on this any.
It doesn't, it would be my recommendation to, while it is in burn ban, that's still 2 weeks from now. And so again, difficult. I was comfortable leaving the burn ban off before the issue came back up, but being the public is concerned about it, if we wanted to reevaluate that, it's kind of the same with the burn ban. It could go either way.
Okay?
We didn't act on this previously?
Is this new?
This is new, so this was added by the last last legislative session, and so it would permit fireworks Thursday, October 31st, 5:22 a.m. through Friday, November 1st at 7:46 a.m. And that sale period would be October 25th through midnight, November 3rd.
And what's the last date that we can?
October 14th, so a day before we meet again.
Our office hedged our bets that the conditions would improve by the end of October into November, which is why we made the recommendation to allow them.
Do you still feel that way?
Generally speaking, yes, sir. I have no reason to believe that this unseasonably warm temperatures will carry on that far. Now, it certainly is possible, but call it
Like my weatherman.
garbage in, garbage out. It's all data.
I'm comfortable with accepting his recommendation on that.
Sure. I mean, I don't, how many fireworks stands are gonna be open for this anyway, so.
That I don't know. I don't have the data on how many fireworks stations are in the county.
It's amazing now. Halloween has fireworks.
Yeah. Okay. So what's the recommendation of the court?
So I think we don't have to take any action, Dustin? Is that what you said?
If we want to allow them, we do have to take a
Oh, okay,
affirmative action.
okay.
So, yes.
Okay. Then I would make a motion that we accept the recommendation of the Emergency Management Director and allow the sale of fireworks from, give me the dates again, sir?
Can we just do it for the Diwali period? Because I'm a little confused as to the dates, so.
Okay. And what period was that, Dustin?
Wally?
For the Diwali.
Okay, just make sure I didn't mispronounce that. Make it effective for the Diwali period.
All right, is there a second? I'll second. Any other discussion? No other discussion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, pass. Thank you.
Sir.
All right, I'd like to go to item G4. This is regarding the Medicare Advantage Group Plan Agreement with United Healthcare Insurance Company, authorization of plan renewal, and discussion and/or action regarding the premium rates for 2025 benefit plan year for the eligible retirees, which is the McLennan County Group Health Plan, under the McLennan County Group Health Plan. So I'd like to ask, I think we have Ty Petty with Hub International on. Is he in court or on?
I'm online, Judge.
Okay, good morning.
Morning, Judge. How are you?
All pretty good.
Great, great. Appreciate y'all letting me join virtually today.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so I'll start at the top. I believe in your packet, you all have the information that we put together for the court's understanding and the folks there in attendance. So this is your Medicare plan for your retirees that the county currently funds at 100%. Y'all have a very rich plan. You really take care of your retirees currently. And, you know, there were some changes in the 2022 Inflation Reduction Act that took effect this year that led to some significant increases in premium across the board, regardless of carrier we saw the groups that offer these plans absorb kind of 20 to 30% increases, regardless of industry, group size, things like that. And so that came up, and y'all received a pretty significant increase from UHC. And so working with your HR team, we put together a couple options. And again, I believe those are in your packet, to try to kind of strike the balance of, the county's goal to honor their retirees and take care of those folks that serve the community for so long, but also strike the need with cost as well. And so what we did was we looked at options that would provide between $50 and $75 in savings from the as-is renewal, which is your, essentially $0 out-of-pocket, $0 copays, $0 prescriptions, all these offerings that you do for your retirees, and increase some cost with that. Unfortunately, there is some increase in copays and deductibles and things like that for your retirees in these plans. But at the same time, not going down to the route of maximum cost savings, which would lead to essentially those plans are designed as co-insurance and a significant out-of-pocket maximum for your retirees. So that was our goal, and we think that we accomplished that very well, of striking the balance. As you can see in your packets, we provided you the two options. Both of those have an annual out-of-pocket maximum of $2,000, which again is an increase from the $0 that you currently offer today. Under CMS rules, the max that you can allow for an out-of-pocket for a retiree is $6,700. There are some nuances to the rules in that. Basically, you'll see the deductible and the out-of-pocket maxes. All amounts on these copays go towards that out-of-pocket maximum. So whether that's their deductible, those copays, all those dollars move towards that out-of-pocket maximum. But we also took a look at your formulary for the prescription drugs for your retirees, and we made sure that we went with a formulary that, again, maximized the savings to the county, but at the same time didn't disrupt any sort of access or utilization for your retirees. Other than that, like I said, I believe you all have these design options in your packets, and so I'm happy to answer any questions y'all may have, or talk more about the Inflation Reduction Act changes. Anything that's good for the court, I'm happy to provide that information.
Okay, thank you. I want to ask Anna to step in here and put more explanation how it affects us.
Sure, Judge.
What your recommendations are.
Sure. I think it would be helpful to cover, Ty did a good job of covering kind of what increases, what options there are to increase plan copays, co-insurance and whatnot, but this is offset by improvements to the prescription plan. Ty, can you cover those improvements that they would see that are required now through CMS and this Inflation Reduction Act? So things like the donut hole and lower out-of-pocket.
Sure. So that's the big driver of cost this year, right? And those increases that we talked about. And essentially, what happened under the Inflation Reduction Act is, again, we closed that, what we call the donut hole, which is the gap in coverage, right? That could occur for some folks. So the Inflation Reduction Act closed that. Another thing that they did was put in the $35 cap on insulin. Now, that doesn't mean that the price of insulin went down to $35. It just meant that the most that a retiree can be charged for their insulins is $35. It also put some other caps in place. And I'm sorry, I misplaced my notes here on that. But it essentially puts those other caps in place and cost controls in place for retirees. I'm sorry, I'm having a little technical problem with my notes, so.
I have that then. It's just the out-of-pocket maximum on the prescription side is decreasing from $7,000 to $2,000. So that's also kind of although these other two options, there's increases in co-insurance, it really is a balance to the improvements that the retiree would see on the prescription side of it. So that's where, you know, Ty and I, we kind of went back and forth on what would be a balanced option for the retirees where they're still, you know, seeing the benefit, but also there's a cost-saving option that the court can consider, and that's option one at $265.19. Our original, or what we currently have in place, that premium is $211. And so option one is $265 with 19 cents, and option two is $241 with 19 cents. To accept the renewal as is with the existing plan design is $317.19. So those are the three options put forward, and then it really is the plan design, again, having only an out-of-pocket max, even though it is an increase, obviously, that the retiree will feel it's only up to $2,000. Either of the options HR would recommend, it really is just the consideration of the court and how much of an increase they want to accept.
Questions?
Some of it under option one, option two, with option two, which is $24 less a month, that 300 plus or minus would help, difference in that would help offset some of the copay cost increases. Does that make sense, what I'm saying? If you went with plan two, option two, that's $24 a month less. That theoretically could help save some of the difference between plan one copay and plan two copay. They're saving, in other words, if they went with plan option one, they'd be paying all of these copays plus $265.19 a month. With plan two, option two,
No,
they're
that is
paying
the-
$241.19.
sorry, that's the county contribution.
Yeah,
That's county contribution.
we pay that.
Okay.
Yeah, so this is
Yeah.
basically how much we,
How
as the
much,
county,
how much additional
how
would the
much
county like to
additional-
incur?
do we want
Okay,
to
that's right.
incur?
Okay,
How many are participating?
156.
56.
156.
Where's,
So,
Does it say 150? Yeah.
there we go, here we go.
so the county is currently paying the entire premium for 156 retirees. They became eligible for that benefit by working for the county for 20 years. So that is now a grandfathered benefit. Employees, new hires that come in are no longer eligible to earn that benefit. It was grandfathered in 2009, so any employee who was hired prior to 2009 and remains employed through the 20-year benchmark would qualify for the benefit. But if you were hired after 2009 and later, you no longer qualify for that benefit.
What time frame are we up against here? Like, do we need an answer on this today?
We would encourage an answer today. I don't, HR's always would prefer the answer as soon as possible, but it really does affect the timeline for retiree enrollment. So we have to get this information decision to UHC, who then
This is calendar,
develops.
this is calendar year?
Yes, it's calendar year, January to December 2025 is the plan coverage. However, UHC has to develop the communications for the retiree, and so we can't really do that until we know what the plan design will be.
I mean, because this is kind of hard because we've had such a rich plan in the past, or we have such a rich plan now. I'm just wondering what a $1,000 out-of-pocket maximum would look like. Because $1,000 is a lot of money for for a lot of these folks.
Yes.
Correct. So to give you a little context on that, according to UHC, for about every $100 deductible, gets you about $7 in premium.
So it'd be about $70 then.
Correct. Correct.
70,
Yes. 1% this next year, starting.
under, I guess it would matter which plan. 70 would be 311 times 156.
So 70.
Times 156.
That'd be about $10,000 more in,
For the total?
yes,
What was
savings.
the cost of our COLA? You recall, so
I can't recall off the top of my
we
head.
did give
We
them
did them a 1% COLA.
1%, so,
And then the year before that, we had given them
I'm pulling up.
2 or
the
3.
history. Give me one sec.
What did you say, Will, the increase would be? It'd be $70 a month times 156.
Yeah, that's $10,920. That would,
our additional costs. Or the.
no, that would,
And then times 12.
yeah,
Be
times.
$131,040 a year increase.
So if we were to keep everything the same,
It's 198,000, right?
Yes, if everything remained the same, as far as the plan design goes, it's almost $200,000 more.
so if we did $1,000 deductible, the cost based on 156 retirees would be $462,739, roughly. That doesn't have any, there's some, obviously needs to be some work on the that's still a zero, still, on option 1, that's still a zero. No copay on the Part B drugs.
Yeah, and then the out-of-pocket max, that's just the maximum that they would pay, accumulating all copays. Their annual deductible for option 1 is $150. And so once $150 is spent, then the copays is what would be owed for the services listed here. These would be the only services that are affected. There's a long list of page-long list of services that are covered that remain the same $0 cost. And so what we did here was just highlight what would be changing, what would have an impact to the retiree. And so it still does a $20 copay for the specialists.
Correct.
And then
And I think it's, sorry to interrupt, I think it's important to highlight too that some of those changes are mandated by CMS. So there's certain things we go in there that we can't change the copays or deductibles and things like that on, and those are mandated by CMS. So we really looked at where did we get kind of the most savings for the change with these amounts that we chose.
Mm-hmm.
Well, in that case, I mean, I would like to see what option 1 would cost with $1,000, with $100 deductible, annual deductible, and $1,000 annual out-of-pocket max.
Let me see if I can.
Do you have that spreadsheet built, easily available?
So you're saying, let me look. Annual deductible, out-of-pocket max 1,000.
Mm-hmm. Annual deductible $100.
I do not have that one built. I have a $1,500 option.
Can you share that cost, Ty?
Yes, let me pull that. That was one of the early ones that we did, so I'm gonna have to pull that proposal up when we were weighing options. Give me a second, please.
Did you have that COLA history?
Yes, well. we're
While
waiting
he's
there,
looking, yeah.
The COLA history for the past 3 calendar years, or past 2 plus the future calendar year, was 5%, 3%, 1%. So that 1% will go into effect January 1st, 2025.
And so to do a $1,500 max out of pocket, but again, we built that plan with no annual deductible. The premium on that would be $290.19 per employee per month.
And right now it's 211.28,
Right.
Yes.
90, 79 more dollars.
Again, I'd really like to see the at $1,000, but
Would that be with no deductible?
$100 deductible. I mean, that is such a, that's still a very lucrative, that's still a very rich, it's still a very rich plan.
No doubt. But I like where you're heading. We're trying to minimize the impact.
Help
to the retiree.
impact our budget.
When is our retreat?
November the,
Oh, it's not till November? Okay.
yeah.
A little late.
Anna just went into a panic.
Yeah.
Like, oh no.
Could we maybe hold this while Ty and you work on some of these numbers and then come
Yeah,
back?
I might can get something really quick. I'll keep Anna updated and we can come back to this.
Okay.
And again, what is it you want them to look at specifically?
Well, I want, so obviously there's some things in here that have to change due to the fact that this great Inflation Reduction Act that's done nothing but cause inflation and more inflation.
That's not a political statement, that's a look back.
That's a fact.
And so I really appreciate Washington DC doing that to us, putting this another unfunded mandate on us. Not only do we have the state with these unfunded mandates, but now we've got the federal government also too. So that
You were thinking 100 deductible and.
so $100 annual deductible, $1,000 out of pocket max, and then whatever else has to be added in via the
Reduction Act.
Reduction Act.
Okay.
Could we
Understood.
hear, because I'm sure we already have stuff plugging away. Could I just come back the same court session once we have an amount?
Yeah, that's what I was hoping.
Okay, great.
We'll be here.
Okay.
For clarification, is the court comfortable with the $10 copay for primary care, $20 for specialist copays?
I thought that was mandated.
No, so those were changes that we made to adjust the premium. So the copays on the primary care, the specialist, the copay for your outpatient surgery, outpatient rehabilitation, occupational therapy, and physical therapy. Those copays were adjustments that we made
Okay.
for premium savings.
Yes, I'm fine with those. Yeah.
And again, all those contribute towards that deductible and out-of-pocket maximum. So
Okay.
All right, so we'll hold this item until later in the meeting. And Dustin, if you'll pick it up, but I don't want to go to the pulled item on this consent agenda quite yet, because that's Anna's presentation, and she's working on these numbers right now.
Yes, sir. So we can go up to item F, bids, RFPs, RFQs. F1, authorization of proposal with M&E Consultants for site visit, drone, and topographic survey of county drainage channels. I know the engineer's office is still doing research on this, and we have reached out to the city manager's office, like we said last court session. So I think the recommendation would be to defer this, please.
Yeah, I make a motion, we defer.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Pass.
F2 is authorization to manage engine product price quote from Zoho Corporation for service desk subscription adjustments for information technology. John?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
So this is increasing our license count for our managed engine service so that we can up our number of items that we're keeping in inventory. So it's going up, this year was the $2,690, and it'll be rolled into next year. This wasn't in the budget, but we do have the funds to cover it in the budget. This has been reviewed and is recommended for approval.
All right, any questions? What's the pleasure of the court?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Have a motion second. Any other discussion? No other discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Pass.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Right, F3 is authorization of recommendation for bid 24-019 inmate clothing for McLennan County Jails. Ken?
Yes, we received a number of bids on this. We've received a bid from Charmtex in the amount of $78,818.15. Victory Supply in the amount of $70,134.40. Bob Barker Company bid amount of $67,107.75. ICS Gel Supplies in the amount of $88,042.35. And kind of a resale company, Texas Contracting Solutions, in the amount of $500,900.
That's an insult.
They just didn't know.
Nasty letter to follow.
We recommend that McLennan County grant the award for inmate clothing to Bob Barker Company. The new bid pricing is about a 19% increase over previous pricing, but again, this is a bid, and they're the low bid.
Okay, and of course, all are bidding on the same type.
Yes, absolutely.
All right.
Yeah.
New designs come out and
And Bob Barker has been our supplier for a
Yeah.
number of years.
If they're in North Carolina, will they be able to get them to us?
Yeah, seriously.
Well, they've had no troubles before.
We've had them for,
I'm talking about they're underwater right now.
Oh, I'm sorry, yeah.
I think we're fixing to have a lot bigger problem, and that's called the strike.
Doc Striker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Motion to approve the recommendation, awarding bid 24-019 for inmate clothing to Bob Barker Company Incorporated. They submitted the lowest bid.
Second.
I have a motion second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Pass.
F4 is authorization of renewal for bid 24-019 inmate personal items, ICS Gel Supplies. Ken?
Yes, we're bringing to the court, we did this bid 21-019 in 21, and we had options to renew if the court agreed. If they offered no more than a 3% price increase, they did come back, they sent us a letter that they are requesting a 3% increase, and we've checked with the jail, and they would like to continue this agreement. So we would recommend that the Commissioners Court consider jail the supplies, 3% increase with ICS. And again, they've been supplying our inmate items for quite a number of years.
Motion to approve renewal of bid 21-019.
Second.
All right, you have a motion, second, any other discussion? No other discussion, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, pass.
Moving on to item G, under item G1, it's the County Volunteer Fire Department agreements. We need to defer this one again.
I make a motion, we defer. Second. Have a motion, second, any other discussion? No other discussion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, pass.
G2 is an item for Anna, so we can hold it and drop down to item G3 regarding the software as a service agreement with Tyler Technologies. Authorization of amendment. This is for Tyler Enterprise Case Manager, Tyler Enterprise Supervision, Tyler Civil Process, and along with it, we need to also go to agenda item M6. This is an approval of an order relative to sole source designation and granting exemptions from bidding with Tyler Technologies for the court and civil service softwares. John?
Yes, so this is, excuse me, this was included in the budget. The total numbers here for the Enterprise Case Manager, which covers the county courts, district courts, JPs, the county clerk and district clerk. The total fees there are $558,888. Those are the recurring yearly fees, that is. And that is Exhibit 1A. Exhibit 1B, which covers Enterprise Supervision Product, which covers our pretrial and specialty courts. The total there for the yearly renewal is $97,675. And then the Exhibit 1C, which is Civil Serve, which covers the constables, that yearly renewal is $62,460. The total there is $719,023 for the yearly renewal. That comes in at $6,940 less than we were quoted originally than what was budgeted. So we are under budget overall.
What was that amount?
It comes in at $6,940 under what the original quote. They were quoting us so we could get it into the budget.
Okay, right.
And once they give us the actuals, it was a little less.
Okay.
Make a motion to approve G3.
Second.
All right, have a motion, second, any other discussion? No other discussion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, pass.
And can we also act on M6? That's that order
Oh, yeah.
approving it as a sole source designation.
All right, under M6,
Motion to approve the order of sole source designation.
all right, have a motion and a second, any other discussion? No other discussion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, pass.
Thank you.
All right. Moving on to item G5. This is authorization of interlocal cooperation agreements with the city of Waco. G5A is regarding animal shelter services. This is just a renewal of our previous agreement with Waco, and it runs 10/1/24 through September 30th, 2025.
All right, any questions?
Motion to approve.
Second.
All right, have a motion and a second, any other discussion? No discussion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, pass.
G5B is regarding litter control services at the city landfill and for law enforcement services. This is the annual contract with the city of Waco where we provide 4 deputy positions and the city covers those salaries and fringe benefits. And so it's been reviewed and recommended for approval.
Motion to approve the agreement with the city of Waco.
Second.
All right, have a motion and a second, any other discussion? No other discussion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, pass.
G6 is authorization of professional services agreement and related construction materials testing proposal with Langerman Engineering for Patton Branch Road. And then the proposal number 24-143. Zane?
Yes, sir. Good morning, everyone.
Morning.
This item is materials testing contract with Langerman Engineering for the Patton Branch Road culvert replacement project. When it gets started, we want to have this contract in place. The total amount not to exceed is $7,476. We feel that's adequate and it's recommended for approval.
Any questions? Hearing none, what's the pleasure of the court?
Motion to approve?
Second.
Have motion second. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Pass.
Thank you.
All right, moving on to item H, capital improvement and construction projects. H1 is discussion and/or action regarding bridge, low water crossing projects. And I know, Judge, you had requested this on the agenda.
Let's see.
And I don't know if you want to, any discussion on it today, or we can defer until next court session.
Yeah, let's do that unless somebody has any questions or comments on it. All right, make a motion, we defer.
Second.
Have motion second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Pass.
H2 is regarding McLennan County Downtown Jail remodel for courtrooms and office space. Agreement with Brinkley Sargent Wigington Architects. Authorization of invoice number 23. This invoice totals $146,388.98. It has been reviewed and recommended for approval.
Okay, any questions? Not, what's the pleasure of the court?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Have motion second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Pass.
H3 is regarding the 415 Columbus Avenue site demolition, proposal of Walker Partners. This is invoice totaling, Ken, did you want to cover this one?
Well, it's an
Or I
invoice.
can?
It's an invoice totaling $400, and it's on the, it's for the construction administration on the demolition of the 415 Columbus site.
Any questions? Pleasure of the court.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Have motion second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Pass.
H4 is regarding the McLennan County Highway 6 jail roof project, authorization of application for payment number 1 from the roof company. Ken?
Yes, again, this is covering the roof, and it's an amount totaling I'm sorry, yeah.
Yeah, 532, 645, 60.
Yes, but what I wanted, I'm sorry, I'm stumbling a little bit. On their application, I missed it, but we generally withhold a 5% retainage, and they did not include it on this invoice. I'm going to go ahead and request that we go ahead and pay the 506.03, yeah.
532, 645, 60.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm stumbling all over the place. And we'll come back and we'll request this 5% retainage for this amount on their next invoice.
Okay.
That's good.
So we get 10% on the next invoice? Is that correct?
Technically, we've only ever asked for 5%. If we ask for 10%, I see what you're saying. No, we'll ask for this 5%, we'll ask for 5% on the next.
Okay,
Yeah,
I get
that'd be
you,
different
right,
amounts.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just.
Okay.
Motion to approve the pay application.
Okay.
Second.
All right, motion second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Pass.
H5 is regarding the Justice of the Peace Precinct 5 Office Edition fee proposal from CPNY, authorization of invoice for August 2024. Ken?
Yes, this is, again, for work on JP5 in the amount of $796. I believe TJ's looked at this, and it should be good to go.
Okay, any questions?
Motion to approve.
Second.
All right, motion second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Pass.
Under item H6, this is regarding hail damage roof repairs, quote from Clark Roofing. There are 3 approvals here. H6A is approval of correction to juvenile detention building roof quote amount. H6B is authorization of application for payment number 1 for juvenile detention building roof repairs. And H6C is authorization of application for payment number 1 for records building roof repairs. So Ken or TJ?
Well, on the first one for the hail damaged roof, again, I think we're asking for, I had a little correction that I made in my original recommendation for the roof, for the hail damaged roof, and I was $1,000 off. And so technically, the total amount for the 30-year warranty should be 767,460.34. So I wanted to make that correction. And this request for payment is in the amount of 506,000, I'm sorry, I'm having $55.03.
Okay?
Back up a minute, Ken, on H6A.
Yeah.
For the 30-year warranty, I think we'd approved an amount of 38,503.12, but it should be 39,503.12. So we need to
Yes,
approve that, we need to approve that amount,
Yeah, yes, sir.
of
that's correct.
39,503.12. And then under pay application 1 for the juvenile detention building, 506,055.03.
That's right. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Is that a motion?
Well, then we got the last one here from,
Well, yes, and that amount is
126,048.
$126,048.
$48.93. Is that it?
Yes.
Move to approve those 3 items.
All right, have a motion and second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Pass.
H7 is regarding the Old Springfield Road Waterline Improvement Project, engineering services agreement with Walker Partners. This is an invoice for the services through August. Zane?
Yes, sir. So this is the invoice in an amount of $7,280.53 by Walker Partners for the Old Springfield Road Waterline Improvement Project. This invoice has been reviewed and is recommended for approval.
Any questions?
Motion to approve the invoice. Second.
Have a motion and second.
Question. Can we get a timeline from them on finished product?
So the plans are 95% complete, and the original easement documents that Mr. Shaw was going to provide an easement for the water line needed to be revised, and so those easement documents have been revised and they've been sent to Mr. Shaw. It's my understanding that he is okay with the revisions, but we need to meet for him to sign and have it notarized. Once we get the actual easement, then we can go out for bids for construction for the water line, because we need the land to put the water line on.
Right.
What were the revisions? What were the points of them that who had the problem with them?
Mr. Shaw pointed out some good points. It just had a cursory review of the original easement, and there was a map, and the map didn't have the correct road name on there, so he wanted the road name corrected. And then there was an address detailed in the easement. He wanted that corrected. Through that initial meeting with Tracy Guillory and Mr. Shaw and his assistant, it was determined that he was open to extending the water line easement all the way across his property, which is beneficial to the city of Waco, because they would like.
And to him, big time.
And to him. And then we started talking about annexation of his property, and he was open to that as well. And so while these revisions to the easement documents have been being made, the city of Waco has been considering annexing his property, which if they did that, would then annex the right-of-way, full right-of-way, for the length of his property on Old Springfield Road. And of course, Old Spring Road is not currently being maintained by the county, although it has seen some maintenance in the past by the county, but it's not currently in our maintenance log. So the idea for the city of Waco is to go ahead and extend the easement north all the way up to the current, where they have a water line, so then they can loop the water line and have fresh water looping. So that, all this is very pleasing to the city of Waco.
Did the city pay for that?
That second phase, they will pay for everything, yes.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
they benefit.
this is just phase one, trying to get it to where the church is located. And I've sent him the revisions, and he's ready to meet, because I
Okay.
think he's good with it.
Good, good. Yeah, I'd love to see it finished.
Okay, any questions?
Motion to approve.
I did have a question.
Oh, wait, we've already done all that.
Yeah, but we do have a motion second, but go ahead.
All for the.
Did we decide, is this ARPA eligible, or what was
So
the?
Dustin, he's prepared to answer that. So Dustin,
It is, yes, it is ARPA eligible, so we've got, I think the latest cost figure was around 323,000, so we've got that kind of plugged into our ARPA allocations, but, so yes, so it does need to be, bid and under contract by the end of the year.
And we can meet that deadline.
okay. And we did get a motion second, okay. Any other discussion? No other discussion, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, pass.
All right, H8 regarding the Holy Road at North Cottonwood Creek Low Water Crossing Project, agreement with Bear Creek Construction, authorization of application for payment number 1. Zane?
Yes, sir. So this is the first application by Bear Creek Construction for the construction of 2 low water crossings in Precinct 3 on Holy Road. The pay app totals $325,387.11. It's been reviewed and is recommended for approval.
Motion to approve the pay application number 1.
Second.
Have a motion second, any other discussion? No other discussion, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, pass.
H9 regarding the Chapel Road improvements, agreement with Casparian Underground, doing business as H&B Contractors, authorization of application for payment number 7. Zane?
Yes, sir. So payment number 7 by H&B Contractors for the Chapel Road Improvements Project in Precinct 4, totaling $838,873.20. Of that, the county's portion for the roadway improvements is $130,485.28. The rest being by the city of Waco for the water line improvements. So payment number 7 has been reviewed and is recommended for approval.
All right, any questions? What the pleasure of the court?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Have a motion second, any other discussion? No other discussion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, pass.
Thank you.
Right. H10 is discussion and/or action regarding roads that interconnect between the city of Hallsburg and Trading House Lake Park. Judge?
Yeah, we were getting some preliminary numbers back, and it looks like that we were gonna have to maybe look at this as prioritize those different accesses and then put them over maybe several years, but we can talk more about it at the retreat if our agenda doesn't get too long for the retreat discussions. But Zane and his crew's working on it now, and so we'll have more to report on it later. But I just want to kind of update it, what the plan is. The public needs to know that we are interested in having good access to our park, and those expenses would be above the each precinct. It would be in a road and bridge, what we call it,
General?
general,
General.
road and bridge general contingency, so.
Okay.
All right. That's all I have on that.
Okay, so we can just show no action today, and we can keep that on the agenda if you'd like us to. Judge.
Yeah, no action, keep it on the agenda.
And then, all right, Hub is ready, so we can go back to item G4. And this is that Medicare Advantage Group Plan Agreement discussion.
Thank you. Before we get started, if it'd be all right with the court, my technology got fixed, and I can highlight some of the changes in the Inflation Reduction Act that's kind of driving this 20-30% increase.
Okay.
I know y'all are big fans already, so I figured I'd just give you a little bit more information.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, no, of course. So the big changes are like we talked about, the insulin max. The other big one is the $0 cost share for vaccines. We all kind of think of our kind of normal, like our flu vaccines and things like that, but there's a lot of other vaccines out there that do have some cost on them. The other piece that really drove cost is the expansion of the low income subsidy, which basically funds full benefits for individuals that have 135 to 150% of the poverty level. And then this year, they kind of added on to that with these changes to the Medicare Part D plans. And so, again, that elimination of the gap stage, like we talked about, that donut hole coverage. They also changed the out-of-pocket threshold. So for drugs, the true out-of-pocket maximum is capped at $2,000 for retirees, which is a huge increase because this year it was $8,000 and the next year it goes down to $2,000. And then there's a lot of changes that I wouldn't begin to confuse myself or everyone else about how CMS pays the carriers and reimburses them around these drug costs. All that suffice to say is the carriers are getting less money. And so basically what that does is that shifts the cost over to the carrier and ultimately to you, the plan sponsor. Right. So it kind of narrows that cost sharing down for our retirees, which, of course has pros and cons. We all want to take care of our retirees, but at the same time, somebody's got to pay for it. So we certainly understand that. That said, the new rate going down to the $1,000 max out of pocket and going to a $100 deductible, that new rate would be $268.69 per retiree per month. And again, that's with no other changes made under that option one presented to the court.
268.69.
Yes. So it's a little over $4 increase to premium. From the original option one for those changes.
Any other questions for Ty?
I'm good. I'm good with that.
Okay. So alternative option, pretty much all of the co-pays listed under option one, with the only difference being the annual deductible down to 100 from 150 and the annual out-of-pocket maximum instead of 2,000, 1,000 with the premium of $268.69.
So from our current cost, 2024 per member per month rate, and then your annual cost. Our annual cost currently is $395,516.
Right, based on the 156.
This would be an increase of $107,471.68.
Yes, sir. Sorry, you're already adding that's correct.
I feel good with that.
Okay.
Mr. Smith,
Yes, sir.
how you feel? All right.
And we budget based on trends, and so we didn't budget for an increase, but, we can watch that as the year goes on and then accommodate it with the budget amendment when needed.
Yeah, I'll be teaming up with Francis because enrollment numbers fluctuate throughout the year as people turn 65 and get added on, or as they drop coverage, or retirement stay steady here at the county. We'll keep an eye on it.
Okay.
And if it helps kind of soothe the soul a little bit, based off my conversations with these MAPD carriers, they don't expect these 20 to 30% increases to be the trend. They expect it to kind of return to the previous model, where on average we were seeing 3 to 5% inflation trend essentially following these plans. So they don't expect, barring any action from Congress or anything like that, they don't expect to absorb 20 to 30% increases year over year as of right now.
How long had we been at, or what was our rate trend through the past few years?
So starting in 2021, our rate was $201.86. $197.82 the following year in 22. In 23, it was 203. And in this past year, the 211. So this is the largest fluctuation that we've seen in some time.
And when we were putting all the numbers together during the budget sessions, these numbers weren't available?
No.
No, they never are.
Okay.
The CMS renewals are released usually pretty late, and yeah, we were not prepared for the 20 to 30% increase that we saw across the board.
Okay,
So I would make a motion that we set the rate at $268.69 with an annual deductible of $100, annual out-of-pocket maximum in and out of network of $1,000, and then PCP copay of 10. Would you like for me to read all these, or can you just, what I said enough?
All other cost
All-
share
all-
under option one.
Under, all the rest of the costs share under option 1.
yeah. All right, any,
Second.
okay, we have a motion second. Any discussion? All right, hearing none. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Pass. Thank you.
Thank you.
Anna, are you ready? Do you want to do your other 2 items we held, or do you want to come back?
Yes, I can do those.
Okay, so we can go back up to E3. This was the pull from the consent agenda. It's E3B, Constable Precinct 5 HR matter.
So I have Constable 5 requesting approval to appoint and hire a full-time deputy constable into position 1780. The position was posted per policy guidelines for the required 5 days. The applicant met qualifications, and Constable 5 has ensured the applicant does meet the TCOL standards, and so HR would recommend approval.
This was the position approved in the budget,
Yes, sir.
and that's the recommended salary from
Yes,
HR.
sir. That's the new minimum that the court set.
Okay.
Move to approve.
Second.
All right, have a motion second. Any other discussion? No other discussion, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Pass.
All right, going to item G2, authorization of solutions agreement with Blackbaud Corporate Impact Solutions and related EverFi order form. This is for subscription for online compliance training library. Anna?
Yes, I have here renewal for EverFi. This is the standard HR training our office issues to all new hires, and then does refresher training through on an every other year basis. It's a 2-year renewal beginning 10/1 of this year through September 30th of 2026. There was a slight increase. It had been $12,075 per year. For the first year of the 2-year renewal, it's $13,041, and then an increase to $14,084.28. We do our HIPAA training for anybody handling sensitive personal identifiers or medical information, preventing injury and illness training, harassment prevention, bloodborne pathogens, hazard communication. And this is how also we distribute updates to the employee policy guide and how we capture all employee acknowledgements and maintain that on file. Although there is an increase, I do want to say that the previous agreements have fluctuated around $14,000. Back in 2018, we did have the cost at $14,500 for the same service.
So year one, we go up about $1,000, and year two, about $1,000.
Right.
All right, what's the pleasure of the court?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Have a motion second. Any other discussion? No other
Discussion?
Yep.
Blackbaud, refresh my memory now. Have we used them in the past?
So they recently purchased EverFi.
That's the same thing.
It is the same thing. They were previously under Foundry,
Okay.
and they were just bought out by Blackbaud.
And these are flat costs regardless of how much usage there is. We're not paying per employee then.
Exactly right. So we can subscribe as many learners as we need to.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, any other questions? No other questions? All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Pass.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, we can move on to item I, budget amendments. I-1's regarding the FY24 budget. Francis?
Thank you. I will begin by reading through the FY24 budget amendments. Of course, today is the first year of fiscal year 25, but we'll continue to accrue back expenditures for 60
Finally.
days. So starting with I-1I, this is in the general fund for 19th District Court, requesting to increase within their department into professional development to cover additional costs for the fiscal year. I-1B, this is general fund 170th District Court, requesting to move within their budget into professional development, also for additional professional development costs for the fiscal year. I-1C, this is general fund 474th District Court. The judge is requesting to move within that department to increase the line item for travel reimbursement for the cost for the remainder of the year. I-1D, this is general fund county court at law number 1, requesting to move within that department into professional development for costs that they incurred before the end of the year. I-1E, this is general fund county court at law number 2. They are requesting to move within that department also into professional development for costs incurred before the end of the fiscal year.
Could I ask a question?
Yes.
All of these requests for professional development and travel reimbursement, if the budget year is ended, that's obviously already taken place.
Yes, so they've probably traveled, they now have a reimbursement request, so they've probably fronted the money themselves.
So
for
it's nothing traveling past the end of September.
Correct. So if anybody travels from now on, it will be charged to their
2025.
25 budget. Yes,
Okay.
sir. I-1F, this is general fund for district attorney, requesting to move within their department into other services and charges. And so this is to cover some Thomson Reuters or the Westlaw subscription charges.
So I'm going to go back to, tell me if I'm out of bounds on this or anything like that.
You get my flag ready.
So I appreciate the travel reimbursement request in the packet, but there's a reason for travel. It says convention, Arlington, Texas. I mean, to me, that's not very transparent as to where they're going, you know, I mean, or not.
So
I
it
mean,
should
I'm
say
just-
like
we-
for
we've been-
training?
Yeah, for training
Credit.
or what the convention was for, you know,
So
what
we
the
can make
name of the
sure-
convention.
We can make sure and include those. Of course, you know, we make sure whenever we have a request that.
I mean, you get the
it's within-
receipts and all that,
Yes,
right? Mhm.
yes. The agenda, we need a copy of the agenda as well, so all those pieces, but we'll make sure that we include those as well so you can see them. But, you know, of course, make sure it's within the
I'll
state of
probably
Texas.
get a nasty text here in a minute from
Oh,
somebody
no,
saying.
it's good. We make sure it's
Shut
within the
up.
state of
I don't have
Texas.
to have one right.
Give me your number.
If it's out of the state, of course, those have been brought to you on an agenda for prior approval. But if not, we make sure that, you know,
I mean, we
it's
just went
something
through
that's
this whole
beneficial to their
process with
office.
changing that and so
Yes.
that just came to my
No,
mind.
we will be sure and,
Sorry.
no, great comment. And so then I will go on then to I-1G. This is Fund 170. This is the Law Library Fund. So the request is just to increase the line items for legal reference materials for the county law library for 14th District Court and JP3. And so, of course, this fund is for those specific purposes. I-1H, this is general fund, the department where we keep repair and maintenance for the Heart of Texas Fairgrounds in. So this is a request to increase that line item from contingencies in the general fund for an emergency call out with Lone Star chiller systems. I-1, this is County Sheriff, this is specifically for jail medical. So this is a request to increase the line item for medical services. So this line houses pharmacy costs, medical costs, hospital cost, a line, you know, that can be very difficult to budget for each year, but they have found some amounts that they can move from other lines within their departments, but they are also asking to move from contingencies in the general fund to cover those costs that will hopefully help us finish out any invoices we get for the remainder of the year. I-1, I-2. This is also the sheriff's office. So this is in Department 2200, Sheriff Law Enforcement. They are requesting to move within their departments into other services and charges for Axon charges, as well as professional development for cost incurred before the end of the year. I-1J, this is General Fund JP11. This is another request to increase professional development, moving within that department. I-1K, this is General Fund Mental Health Court. They are requesting to move within that department into the line item for court masters for cost for the remainder of the fiscal year. I-1L, this is General Fund Pretrial Services. They are requesting to move within that department to increase the line item for language translation services. I-1M, General Fund County Treasurer. He is requesting to move within that department into the postage line. I-1N, this is General Fund Road and Bridge 4. This is just an amount needed for a warranty on a Freightliner that was previously purchased. And so we're just accounting for that cost as well in that capital outlay line. And that concludes the budget amendments for 2024.
Okay, are there any questions on any of those? All right, is there a motion to approve all the FY '24 budget items that goes from A through N?
So
moved. Second.
Have that-
Is there echo in here?
It's a close finish right there, folks.
Let's go to the video on that. We have a motion second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Pass.
Right,
Pardon me?
right.
All right, this is a perfect time for a break. Let's take a 5-minute recess.
lives in Kansas City. And if Kansas City gets past Baltimore and plays the Yankees in Kansas City, his dad's gonna buy my grandson a ticket up to watch the game there on a Saturday in Kansas City, watch Kansas City, New York Yankees play.
You going with him?
No, we'll put him on a plane. He's 17, so we'll
Yeah,
probably
that'd be all right.
put him on a plane up there and get him back. So he was pretty excited about it.
That's awesome. I'll go with him.
There you go.
In Dallas, right?
Recording in progress.
Okay, let's call court back into session. It is 10:35. All right, Dustin?
All right, I-2 is regarding the FY25 budgets. Francis?
Yes, so I-2A, this is the presentation, the recording of the budget for the Special Inventory Tax Fund for the Tax Assessor Collector's Office for fiscal year 25. And so we just need you to accept that for recording.
Move to accept.
Second.
All right, have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Pass.
I-2B is just a detail of the personnel and official supplements. As of today's day one of fiscal year 25. Of course, these can change throughout the year, but this just sets these up from the get-go and gives some more detailed context to the budget numbers.
Okay, any questions about those? All right, if not, is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Have a motion second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Pass.
And then I-2C is a budget amendment for fiscal year 25. And so this is in the Permanent Improvement Fund, Fund 401. And so it was evident recently, of course, after the budget was adopted, that there were projects that were expected to be completed but will not be. And so we just need to roll those budgets forward for those projects. And you'll see they're listed Highway 6 door modifications, the Cobb's Building modifications, and then the Cobb's Building parking lot project. And so, of course, those funds are still sitting in 401. They weren't spent. They'll be moved out of contingencies, but it's the same amount coming out of that fund for the same project.
Okay, any questions?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Have a motion second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Pass.
All right, we have nothing under item J this week. Moving on to item K, grant and grant proposals. K1 is our ARPA discussion. K1A is authorization of American Rescue Plan budget adjustment. And I know, Francis, after you cover this, do we want to touch on the Tyler, the software?
Yes, sir, we can do that for sure. Okay. So I will just read through some of the adjustments to the actual budget for ARPA. And so they're also, of course, included in your packet, but the changes we've made since the last time we presented it to you was increasing the budget for the Tyler jury software. We increased the line items for East Rainier Road, Holy Road. We made adjustments to the lost revenue piece by reallocating that from the Downtown Dell project. And so to alleviate some of those timing issues, moving it to covering personnel costs in the general fund. We increased the line for the PACES contract, which is the group in cohorts with the county and the city. And so that is the county's portion.
PACES met.
Matt? Mm-hmm. Now, which PACE are you talking about? There's one that's.
This is the one for the health.
Yes.
This is the one for the health, right?
Yes, sir.
The county health.
Yes, that group's.
Access to care?
Access to care.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I was getting them
The
mixed
other
up.
PACE.
Yeah.
Not your pacemaker.
No, I don't have one.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
That's horrible. I should not have said that. I apologize.
Personally, I like it.
Or whatever that is.
I'm still shopping.
That company that comes in and takes, helps.
On the
finance.
electricity stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what got into me there.
so they've met to formulate a plan of the next level of who's included in the discussion. And I think that's going to be scheduled here fairly quickly, which you'll be involved in.
Okay, thank you.
And, but that's what I know about that. All right?
And then we also have increased the line items for administrative cost. And so those lines specifically were the LAN, Lockwood Andrews and Newman consultants, and then our legal counsel as well. So those are the adjustments that have been presented to you as a budget amendment.
Okay, any questions?
Is this all on the drive?
Dustin, I'm sorry, I don't have an answer to that.
I think this not directly, but that spreadsheet that our office maintains is on there. But it's just not in this format. But Francis, I think we could get Haley, if what she prepares that we kind of match up to our spreadsheet, we could put them both on there if it's not already on there.
Yes, for sure, we can do that very easily.
Okay. Yes, sir.
Where, on this supplement that we received, K1A, American Rescue Plan budget adjustment, that was a addendum or whatever, where is Old Springfield on there? Is it under the water infrastructure or?
So, give me one sec.
I'm looking at the list of all the infrastructure works and all the water programs we've got, but I don't see Old Springfield.
So, and Dustin, this is, I don't know if we have it specifically
I'm looking for
on our
it.
list yet. I think we were kind of holding off for some, to have final
So
amounts.
Commissioner, it may show up in the unallocated portion. It does. So it would be in that 726,000 that's unallocated, but I can
Yes.
I can share my screen if that's okay, and I'll
Aren't
show
there,
you
aren't
where.
there several projects that aren't on here because?
Yes, so, yes, and also, you approve these buckets, allocations, these big pockets of money.
Right.
When we do the budget amendment, we're looking at things that have contracts associated with them, they have been obligated, they have had formal approval, and so, because this is what we are reporting to the Treasury, and so that's where those differences lie, but like Dustin was saying, it is in the unallocated piece. It has been approved, we just haven't formally placed it in this budget yet.
Could we see an accounting of what has been dispersed sometime?
Oh, sure, yes, anytime, we can do that.
And this may be a good time. I can just, if y'all can see my screen, okay. So here's Old Springfield Road with that $323,750 cost estimate. So that left us with a little over 400,000 of unallocated funds, and that includes the funds that are left in the HVAC project line item, then also in the low water crossings. There is a Patton Branch low water crossing is going to go from a culvert project to a bridge project, and that estimate's going to go up about 600,000. According to the engineer's office, and that's something we have to check and see if it is going to be eligible under ARPA, with it being a bridge project. Certain bridge projects are eligible now after some change in guidance, and so that could eat up much of our remainder, but we're going to keep trying to push county projects to use up the bulk of that remainder, and then we will have a plan should we get into November, December, and we have some unallocated funds left where we look at some of those other entities on our list.
There's got to be
And
a
then,
last, oh, I'm sorry, excuse me. I was just going to say.
No, I'm
this.
sorry, Judge.
Well, I just want to say it's how important it is to have a last minute option where we don't have to. No, we get the priority list of what happens if this doesn't happen. Drop dead date, they missed it, boom, let's already shifted to the priority that we've already
That we can
agreed
write a
with.
check for pretty
Right then.
immediately, yeah.
Yeah.
And then just as a reminder, back during budget, and this was not discussed on the Tyler item earlier, because that was more discussion about the ongoing costs, but those one-time costs are eligible under ARPA. And we had talked to y'all back during budget about taking some of the pressure off the downtown jail project, that $5 million bucket. And so right now, working with the auditor's office, we have this 1.8 million plugged in going to those Tyler one-time costs. So that's dropping that, the downtown jail bucket down to this 3.1 million. And then Irwin is working with Brinkley and Sargent to get those first bid packages out, get us interim guaranteed maximum prices so we can eat up as much of that 3.1 million as possible. So, and Francis or John, Carter, anything to add on that?
No, I mean, I think like you said, those were, the Tyler projects were things you determine, that you were good with. And so, like Dustin said, to take some of that timing pressure off of the larger project, it just made sense to go ahead and reallocate those funds between those two projects, Tyler and the downtown jail.
Any other questions or comments? Okay. What's the pleasure of the court?
Motion to approve.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to approve the
Budget adjustments.
budget adjustments. And if no other questions or comments, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Pass.
Right, moving on to item K1B is regarding the professional services agreement with BKD Forbes Mazars, authorization of grant management service invoice through August. This invoice totals $6,350.12. It has been reviewed and is recommended for approval.
All right, I'll make a motion.
Second.
Motion made second. Any discussion? No discussion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Pass.
K2 is regarding the Bureau of Justice Assistance Edward Byrne Memorial Justice Assistance Grant Program, authorization of interlocal agreement with City of Waco and related documents. This is for the FY24 program award. Major Ives, would you like to cover this?
Sure. This is the JAG grant that we do every year. We are subs to the City of Waco. The total estimated grant amount is going to be $65,670, of which our portion will be $29,551, and that will be applied for in the next few weeks, and we'll receive it in the next 60, 90 days, somewhere around there, if approved.
Okay. All right, any questions?
Motion to approve.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Pass.
Moving on to item K3 regarding the Rural Law Enforcement Grant, Senate Bill 22. K3A is authorization of grant application, and K3B is discussion and or action regarding allocation of funds for Criminal District Attorney's Office and Sheriff's Office. Francis?
Yes, so K3A, we are asking you to authorize the county and the district attorney to apply for the rural law enforcement grants for fiscal year 2025. And so to remind you, the sheriff's grant is for $500,000, and then the DA will apply for his grant, and it's for $275,000. So K3A, they're just asking you to approve applying for both of those grants.
Okay. All right, any questions about those?
Motion to approve.
Second.
All right, motion second. Any other discussion? No other discussion, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Pass.
And then on K3B, we don't have anything to bring yet for the sheriff's office, but for the district attorney's portion, or for the district attorney's grant, under Senate Bill 22, they have presented a list of the increases to the eligible positions within their office, and it has been reviewed by HR as well. So some changes, but similar to what we did for fiscal year 24.
So this is their request that they want for 25?
Yes, sir. So, yes, so we'll make sure that that gets changed over for the pay periods that begin with today, October 1st, if approved.
Couple of questions.
Yes.
Judge?
Yes, please.
One, does this put us outside the scope of those minimum, mid, maximum pay ranges for different positions throughout the county under our new study? How does that work?
Need to speak into the microphone, please.
Can you do that from there? Oh.
Thank you.
This is the Senate bill amount, right?
Yes.
Okay. I thought I heard that. I just wanted to be sure. It's within range, so I did review the list to be sure it was within range, and then also that the amounts matched up for each title, that there was a a reason behind it. So
And
it all
that's
checked
still,
out.
that still stays within minimum, minimum, maximum of that study that was completed for
Yes,
different positions.
our focus would always be the base salary, which this is a supplement to that, but it happens to also be within the
So it's
range,
not a
even as a
carryover
supplement.
expense. It's not a carryover expense. It's a one-time.
Each, yeah.
Each year that they have it available, it would be assigned.
But it does create a maximum amount of salary they get paid that year. It counts as salary, doesn't it?
Yes, it's
For
included in their
reporting
salary.
purposes?
Maximum.
And that total salary falls within
The new ranges.
the new ranges? Okay, that's one question. The second question I have is even more important to us, I think. Is it in writing that if these stipends go away, this court is not obligated to continue that level of funding for those positions?
And COLA would not be applied to it.
Yes, so COLA, and I'm sorry, if Anna wants to, COLA was not applied to this piece of it.
Or going forward.
No, and then, like you said, something in writing, even if you had something in writing, the budget starts over every year, so,
It'd have to be a
There
request.
needs to be a clear understanding somewhere, I guess.
Well, the fact
if
is,
that
we're
gets
gonna
wiped
have to,
clear and,
it's not in writing, and that verifies that it's not an ongoing thing.
Well, I know a lot of counties addressed this issue early on, and I think they did stipulate something in writing when they received it, that they understood that that did not obligate the county moving forward. So I don't know if it's something we want to look at or not look at, but
Well, HR can communicate to them any way they want to, but this court is the gatekeeper on that, and but
Is this reflected in the salary schedule, or is this its own budget?
so we have, it's in its own budget in a way, it's in its own grant fund, but on the salary.
Because I think that's
schedule-
where we would get in trouble if this was added into, and this would help us
Yeah, the
know as if it's not in the schedule that's in this,
Correct.
then I think we're ahead. That's a good step for this.
And this,
It should
like,
make us feel
place to
better.
catch it.
these amounts don't appear in your budget book at all. They are separated. They're in their own separate grant fund.
And court action to receive the grant, and then distribution, court action.
Yes.
That's that. I mean, and Mr. Smith, I'm sure okay with, obviously with, HR communicated in some way, just so they have a clear understanding.
and it may be this grant goes on for perpetuity, but I know how the state operates sometimes. Been there, done that.
Look at the mess the schools are in right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, we have a motion.
We need a motion.
A motion
Do we need a motion?
Second.
Okay.
All right, we have a motion. Second, any other discussion? No other discussion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, pass. Thank you.
Right, K4 is regarding the grant agreement with Department of State Health Services, ratification of revised financial status report for the detection and mitigation of COVID-19 and confinement facilities grant program. Francis?
Yes. So this is the FSR, the financial status report for the COVID confinement grant. This report covers, you said, March through July of 2024.
Okay. All right, any questions on that? All right,
Motion to approve the ratification of the revised financial status report.
Second.
have a motion. Second, any other discussion? No discussion, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, pass.
K5 is regarding the statewide automated victim notification service grant authorization and maintenance grant contract with the Office of the Attorney General. The purpose of this grant program is to maintain Texas counties and other entities in the statewide system that provides offender release information to victims. It's an annual grant, and then these funds can be used for eligible expenses related to those services that are delivered. So we just need a motion to approve this grant contract.
All right. Any questions?
Does the grant cover the cost of doing all this? Okay.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All right, have a motion. Second, any other discussion? No other discussion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, pass.
L1, Human Resources, authorization of office closure. Anna?
Hi, I'm requesting to close the HR office in support of the Wellness Expo and Fair that we have scheduled over the past couple of years. We've had over 600 attendees, and we're distributing T-shirts and coordinating vendors, and so we need all hands on deck.
Okay.
I recommend for approval.
Hey, these things have been so successful.
Yeah.
And appreciate you guys doing that. With that being said, I'll make a motion to approve.
Second. Motion made and second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Pass.
Thank you.
Moving on to item M. M1's authorizations regarding the McLennan County Christmas event, including approval of orders for acceptance of donations, approval, ratification of the purchases, committee updates, and related matters. I think under M1, we have some donations and purchases that need to be approved. Then M1A is authorization of a reservation agreement with the Chick-fil-A food truck. So, TJ?
Yes, so this is just ratification of the proceeds that came in from the breakfast burrito sales, as well as a donation that came in from Total Office Solution. So we recommend these for approval. And then M1A, of course, is the contract with Chick-fil-A on the night of the event to bring out food for us.
Okay. Again, I want to thank those volunteers that worked to sell those burritos. And I waited. I didn't see a cart come by. I thought there'd be a taco cart come by or something. But I hear it was real good. I made the hamburger deal. That was good. And I'd make a motion that we approve acceptance of these fundraising event proceeds, as well as the tangible donation from Total Office Solutions, as well as under M1A, the authorization with Chick-fil-A's agreement to help us during the Christmas event.
Second.
All right, there's a motion. Second, any discussion?
TJ, I would just say, TJ, if on that minimum sales guarantee of 3,000, if it looks like we're not gonna make it, let me know and I'll get back in line.
Okay, sounds good. Yeah, we can definitely do that.
Okay. All right, we have motion second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Pass.
M2 is adoption of various orders relative to FY25. And Ken, I'll just read all these in. M2A is order declaring certain property as waste and authorizing the recycle or disposal of said waste property. M2B is order exempting vehicle and equipment repairs from the requirements of section 262.023 of the local government code. M2C is order granting exemption from competitive bidding and awarding contract to Synaptic Incorporated for security-related items at county facilities, including Jack Harwell, Highway 6 Jail, and Bill Logue Juvenile Detention Center. So, Ken, anything to add?
No, sir, these are just my orders I like to put through at the beginning of each year to encompass budget year 25.
Okay, any questions? All right, if not, I'll make a motion. We approve M2A, M2B, and M2C.
Second.
All right, have a motion second. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Pass.
M3 is authorization of amendment to the McLennan County Employee Policy Guide, Section 7.04, Performance Pay Plan, formerly Incentive Pay Plan. Judge?
All right, I think there's a lot of questions we still have on this, and looking to get some feedback from department heads and others prior to the November, what's the date of the retreat?
November 12th.
November the 12th, and it's a big decision, and we need to put a little bit more thought and effort into it. And so I know it puts us a little bit in a pinch in notification of benefits to employees, but I think it's important, so.
Make a motion to approve, Judge. Motion to
Second.
defer.
All right, I have a motion to defer, and I'll second. Any other discussion? No other discussion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Pass.
M4 is discussion and or action regarding the Commissioners Court retreat meeting. Just as we discussed, it's November the 12th. It's at BHN's new headquarters in the Colgin boardroom. And we'll be sharing potential agenda topics with y'all. And if there's anything y'all would like to add, just please let us know, and we'll compile that list prior to the 15th agenda, and then we will get that posted for the retreat. So no action needed today unless there's something specific y'all would like to do.
Okay, thank you.
All right, dropping down to item M8 regarding the Heart of Texas Radio Tower. M8A is discussion and or action regarding services quote with North Point Construction and Tower Services for tower removal. And then along with that is M8B, approval of order granting exemption from competitive bidding to North Point Construction and Tower Services LLC. Ken, did you want to discuss?
Only that, again, we were looking at this and work in conjunction with City of Waco demoing their building that's out there on the fairgrounds. And we're trying to get that all under one umbrella. John is still looking at how much we might get for scrap in the tower. I haven't heard back from him yet, but I think he's contacted both entities that take scrap metal.
Okay.
And so, go ahead, Dustin.
Ken, I'm sorry, I do have an update on that from Captain Nixon. It's going to be probably in the $1,500 to $2,000 range on the scrap material, on the scrap value.
Okay.
What's it cost to cut it up to scrap? I mean, obviously you can't haul it off in
Well,
piece.
we would have that all under the demo.
Because they're gonna lay it down. There's two costs here. One of them is to lay it down fully. The other is to
Take it down. in
de-stack
sections.
it in sections.
And I will share, I'm trying to get more of an understanding of what it means to lay down and what their protocols are for that. And I've asked John to get with them so I can have a complete description of what they mean by that. So we're also waiting on that from the company that's given us this quote.
Now, in this, there's significant structures that hold the guy wires.
Yes.
Does it,
That's part of it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, that, because
Sure
they're
does.
huge and deep, I'm sure they're
Deep, yeah.
deep, yeah.
Yeah.
Defer?
Yeah.
Make a motion to defer.
Second.
All right, have a motion second. Any other discussion? No other discussion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, pass.
M9 is approval of discretionary exemption from bidding for Hart voting machine supplies. Ken?
Yes, this is something that we kind of discovered when we did the contract for the Hart machines, is that there are other items that go with the voting that aren't really covered under a cooperative agreement or state contract, but it's necessary to use in those voting machines. So we're asking for an exemption from bidding on those items that we'd be getting for Hart to hold these elections.
So is it within our budget? In other words, it'd be, so in other words, the bid they gave us, there's gonna be.
The actual machines were covered under a cooperative agreement state contract.
Yeah.
But some of the, like the papers,
The ballots.
paper ballots and stuff
Ballot
like that
paper and-
were not covered under the cooperative agreement. So we're asking for an exemption from bidding on those items that could exceed $50,000.
Okay. Everybody clear on that?
Does Jared have this in his budget?
Well,
Yes.
yes.
You should have accounted for
Motion
it.
to approve.
Second.
Have a motion second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Pass.
M10 is authorization of fixed asset transfer form for asset transfer of vehicles from county sheriff to criminal district attorney's office. And I had emailed Josh Teetons yesterday, and they're going to get some more info for us, so we can defer this until the 15th, if that is okay.
Also, I'd like to mention that, Chief Deputy Blossman this morning told me that there might be a couple of these that are, that were taken in as seizures, and they've got to research the rules on taking a seized vehicle and reallocating it. So there's more than one issue at hand.
Yeah, okay.
That being said, motion to defer.
Second.
Have a motion second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Pass.
Under item N, Americans with Disabilities Compliance Project, N1 is authorization of professional service invoices with CP&Y. N1A is regarding ADA study report for August 2024. It totals $254.25. And N1B is regarding records building ADA renovations for August. This invoice totals $6,965, and both have been reviewed and are recommended for approval.
All right, any questions? If not, is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Have a motion and
Second.
and a second. Any other discussion? No other discussion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Pass.
All right, dropping down to the supplemental agenda, under item B1, authorization of contracts for software with EDOC. Several here, B1As regarding justice court management, justice court case management, EDOC suite. B1B is regarding district attorney case management. B1C is regarding county clerk case management. B1D is regarding sheriff's office and pretrial services case management. John?
Yes, so, excuse me. We received invoices that had raised the cost of EDOC for approximately 20% for most of our agencies. We felt like that was a bit excessive. They haven't raised the price in 4 years. A typical software contract, typically about 5% a year is normal. And since they hadn't raised it in the past 4 years, we felt like an increase was warranted, just not the 20%. We negotiated with them and we got it to 10% this year and a 10% next year. We also redid the 4 contracts that we had and made those extend through 2026, September 30th of 2026. That will take us through the life cycle of the EDOC software for us. So we've got those down, as Dustin mentioned, B1A, the primary case management system, amount of $43,560 this year, and the web interface for $5,500. And for FY26, it would be primary case management for $47,916, and the hosting of the web interface and JP tickets for $6,050. B1B is for the district attorneys. For this FY25, it would be $31,944, and for FY26, it would be $35,139. And then B1C is for the county clerk, and they have a few items in there, but for FY25, case management would be $54,450, the online index for $5,500, the attorney portal for $6,600, and for FY26, primary case management, $58,895, hosted index for $6,050, and the attorney portal website for $7,260. And then for the sheriff's office, for all of their, scroll down, sorry. That would be for FY25, $82,500, and then for the PR bond and pretrial services, $2,750. For FY26, the sheriff's office would be $90,750, and the PR bond and pretrial would be $3,025. We negotiated these because that'll be the time frame in which we're completed with the EDOC system and onto the Tyler system. Now, there are further costs that are not associated with these, but we will bring those at that time. But these are the 4 that we have contracts for. And the district clerk has a 3-year contract in place that takes them through 9/30 of 2026, sorry.
26?
Yes. Takes them through the same time period.
Right, okay, so it matches up.
Yes.
Yeah, got you. All right,
This has been reviewed and is recommended for approval.
okay.
May I add something on the budget
yes,
side?
please.
So of course, these were budgeted for in some way, but not with a 10% increase on them. So as we get through the year, we will have to do budget amendments to clean those accounts up as well.
Okay. All right,
None of that's ARPA eligible, is it?
No, I would say they probably, no.
I like to always ask.
okay. Any other questions or comments? All right, I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
Motion made and second. Any discussion? No discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Pass.
Judge, that should be all the action items.
Could I ask something, Dustin?
Yes, sir.
When we deferred M8A, did we also defer M8B?
Or was it necessary to do that, or?
Mercedes, did that one motion cover both of those items?
That's the way I understood it.
Okay.
Okay.
Only thing I would comment there would be that October date with Waco, that they could do away with the mobilization fee to us if we approve it prior to them being here to take care of Waco's site there. We could save us some money. Okay.
Okay? All right, anything else to come before the court? Not, we stand adjourned.